Cyntoia Brown Long was just 16 years old when she was sentenced to life in prison for murder, but the case was far from clear-cut. After 15 years in prison, Cyntoia is now free, granted clemency following a celebrity-led campaign to reconsider her sentence. We're going to talk to Cyntoia in just a moment. But first, how she got here.
We have Cyntoia Brown with us.
Cyntoia Brown Long, now a free woman, ready to tell her story.
I want them to see that I'm so much more than the worst thing that I've done.
Cyntoia was 16 when she shot and killed 43-year-old Johnny Mitchell Allen in 2004 after he solicited her for sex. Prosecutors calling her a cold-blooded killer, her defenders arguing she was a teenage victim of sex trafficking. Brown was tried as an adult and sentenced to life in prison with parole possible in 50 years. Her case sparking demands for justice by celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, LeBron James, all giving life to the hashtag Free Cyntoia Brown.
I'm not saying I deserve anything. I'm asking for mercy.
In January, after a decade and a half in prison, Cyntoia got the call she'd been waiting for. Then Tennessee Governor Bill Haslam commuting her life sentence, highlighting what he called the extraordinary steps Ms. Brown has taken to rebuild her life. The 31-year-old earning a high school diploma and college degree in prison while mentoring other young offenders. Now, Brown Long is sharing her story.
I think it's important that all of you know what happened with me so you can prevent it from happening to yourselves.
She's making the most of her freedom while enjoying time with her family and husband, recording artist Jay Long.
God made all this, baby.
Cyntoia, grateful for her second chance.
It's an honor to actually be a picture of what rehabilitation looks like, of what it looks like when we do give people a second chance.
And Cyntoia is with us this morning. So good to see you.
Thank you.
So good to see you. The book. Let's start there because it is it's gripping and it's very detailed. It's graphic. It's raw. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, multiple rapes. I'm thumbing through the book and I'm wondering how did she even survive? Forget surviving prison. How did you survive before that?
Yeah, you know, I often say that if you take away nothing from hearing my story, it's just take away that I'm here by the grace of God. Because looking back over everything that I came through, I shouldn't be here right now. I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't even be alive, you know. So.
You started writing the book in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find the process cathartic as you retold your story on those pages? Did you find that the process itself was helpful, or was it more painful?
It was helpful because, you know, everything has happened over the course of 15 years. And so I had come to a place where I was like, okay, so I've healed from this. I've come to a point where I understand things differently. I've really dug into it. And then when I put it on paper, it had to, you know, take me back to those moments. And I was like, wow, I really didn't know that I was still dealing with this. And then having to work with a writer and, you know, her digging in deeper. She's an incredible writer, Bethany Mauger, really asking those questions that I hadn't even asked myself. And so it was pretty difficult.
Questions like?
Questions like some of the feelings, like why did I do those things? You know, what was I thinking? And, you know, it really helps you to peel back the layers. And, you know, I go into depth in the book about my inner thoughts at the time that I was going through things, some of the motivations, some of the things that were big factors. And she really helped to bring some of that out. You're
16, trial is over. Mm-hmm. You've been convicted. Your lawyer comes to you and says, Cyntoia, you've got two choices. You can take the right path in prison. You can take the wrong path in prison. It takes you a while, but you took the right path. There are a few bumps along the way. What did that path look like in prison?
So prison isn't a place that's conducive to rehabilitation, so it was really difficult. Although I had said, you know, I want to do the right thing, I want to stay on this path. As you said, there were several bumps along the way, and so I really had to find it in myself that I wanted to change. I had to realize that my actions were affecting other people, and I had to really, really want that change. So it wasn't enough to just be in a class or be in a program.
Part of the story is also about your faith journey in this book, and you write that you're waiting for the verdict, and you basically try to bargain with God. You're like, God, if you get me out of this, I will tell the world about you.
Oh, yeah.
And you were sentenced to prison, and in that moment, you found out that's not how God works.
Yeah. Well, in that moment, I started to think, well, maybe I went about this the wrong way. Maybe this isn't, true. And it took years for me to actually, develop a relationship with Jesus. And when I started that process, that's when I started to see God doesn't work on my time. His will is not my will. And so I started looking back over everything and how it played out. And it was like, wow, number one, he saved my life by putting me where I am. And he's given me a testimony that can help other girls avoid being where I am. It can help free other people through my freedom. And so, in a way, he did answer that prayer.
We have a statement about your release from Johnny Allen's family. I want to read it. It reads in part, quote, "We are at a loss for words. I know we feel like the judicial system has failed again for victims everywhere. If the family and friends of Johnny Allen, the man that you shot and killed, if they're watching this morning, what would you say to them?"
I would just let them know that, number one, the way they feel is completely understandable. I don't think that we can tell someone how to feel when they've been through something like that. And I completely understand. They've lost a loved one. I took that person from them. And, of course, I would tell them that I apologize. If they would ever want an opportunity to speak with me, I'd be more than happy to.
You talk to them?
I would.
You write toward the end of the book about life on the outside, what you think life when you get out of prison is going to be like. Has it been like what you thought it would be like?
It's been better.
Really?
Yes, it's been amazing.
What's been the best part?
Just freedom. I get to wake up every day, decide what I want to do with my day, get to be with my husband, get to be with my family. It's just being free.
I met that fellow of yours a little while ago. He seems like quite the character.
He is.
You guys are newlyweds.
Yes.
You still smile all the time.
Not really new. It'll be a year.
January, but still newlyweds.
Yeah.
So, Cyntoia, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.